Okay. I was just watching something about a Bloody Mary thing. So, yes, there is a monumental created reality about Bloody Mary. And I'm sure that's why somebody wanted me to watch the video. I'm sure the video was sent to me to remind me that there are Bloody Mary type realities in more than one place on this earth. And there are Bloody Mary people. And a lot of people say, why did you let the disrespect of your statue? If your statue's called Mary, why not make it like the sacred name Mary? Why allow people to keep being called Mary? And then you guys are wondering, why is Bloody Mary type realities throughout Earth here and there? And then why would you let a statue be called Mary as if it's just Mary and Joseph Mary statue, when you have to be holy and sacred to have a statue, and Mary and Joseph wouldn't qualify? Okay, well, here it is, people. You guys are on it. You guys are on it. You guys are getting spiritual. You're getting very smart. You're diving in with gods through my queen, and you guys are hip to the game and the jive now. You're starting to speak beyond the Bible now. I get it. I'll tell you the secret Da Vinci Code of it all. Okay. This is the lowdown of what was going on. I needed a statue throughout existence. So, okay, I'm in a battle against evil god enemies. So I'm in a battle against gods I had created that turned against me. And like smart enemies, they preyed on my kids and my creations, not me. Therefore, putting me more at everything's mercy than I'd want to ever be. Paybacks are heartless, but like, it is what it is. I of course sacrificed myself for my kids because they had my kids stuck and trapped. Who wouldn't? Well, I needed statues everywhere to put my powers in secret to do things everywhere. So I became a notorious, evil, Bloody Queen Mary god. So there's an original god that died forever ago. An evil, giant, good god called the Bloody Mary Queen Evil God. It was me, but I couldn't say anything. I came down and pretended to be just an average god that died very heroically for things that matter in the culture of evil, because I was a good evil god. So in the culture of evil. But was I fighting against evil god enemies hardcore and acting like I'm just a good god that fights things? Yes. And that's the battle of good and evil. The battle of good and bad. When you're fighting against bad, you have to act like you're not there and yet keep trying to win. So that's what happened. And because of it, I had the holy sacred right to call the statue Mary and use it as I needed when I needed. And then I let other gods use the statue. And because other gods were using the statue, nobody knew for sure what or who the statue was really about. So then you make the devil believe he's making a Mary statue as a mockery, because one day some girl has to be the ultimate savior and sacrificer. When really what I did was I was living in the hopes that Mary would become a saint, because Mary was such a beautiful little goody-goody. Oh my gosh, Mary was the most beautiful little goody-goody. And I always dreamed maybe one day she could be a saint. Joseph was just a legendary, beautiful, amazing dream dad. But boy, Mary was such a little sweetie pie that you think or you hope when she gets to heaven, she'd want to do what it takes to be able to save souls or have a soul in her honor. So it was just a fun like maybe, but I got to do the work of God in secret behind everything. Then I got jiggy with it, and I started picking out different Mary humans that would like maybe honor Mary, the precious Mary and Joseph one day. And I had kind of done it before there was a Mary and Joseph. And how would you know Mary and Joseph? How would you know Mary and Joseph would exist one day? It's pretty easy. You just have to predict that the mom and dad of the most beautiful family lines really love those kind of names. And then you kind of use the power of God to convince them extra to make those names. You know, sometimes gods can predict the future, but future prediction is based on predictable things. You know, how someone's going to be inspired to name their baby is sometimes unpredictable. So you kind of sometimes have to work your magic as gods and kind of manipulate or control reality to come out the way you want. But this is the big hardcore fight of the gods. Is just disguising and hiding and doing a lot of weird, bizarre things to win. And that's all it is. But yeah, there's a lot of weird things throughout existence and time that don't add up or make you wonder. And that's all it is. I thought I'd pick a billion Marys that could honor Mary one day. I mean, didn't you always wish that you could make a whole pile of people just made for the beauty of the worship of Jesus? But it wasn't that time on earth, and we didn't have that privilege. But wouldn't you want to do that for Mary and Joseph too? If they really were the most beautiful parents that God could trust with his little almighty son. And I was just trying to work on the dreams of gods just like me when we were still in the fight and couldn't have the luxury of spoiled options like that. And that's all it is. But if you want to think or say my queen, my queen, my queen, well, there's probably more if you guys want to find out more.